all that I've learned here for the rest of my life, this education I've received from our many guests, from my brilliant staff, and my passionate listeners, and I thank you all. When we come back, I'll let you know what my next challenge is going to be, and I'll give you a hint. It's not the reunion of the Al Franken all-girl orchestra. Franny just wouldn't have it. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes with the last, I guess, 15 minutes or 10 minutes of the last Al Franken show here on Air America Radio.
Is Mom okay? How often does that question run through your mind? If your mom is living alone and not as agile as she used to be, or if she fell, would she be okay? That question may nag you a dozen times every day. Lifeline Medical Alert Service is the answer to that nagging question. Lifeline is there for her and you, 24 hours a day, every day. A push of a button, and help is on the way. That's why Lifeline is the trusted medical alert service caring for over 500,000 people, like your mom, every day. Lifeline lets Mom live in the home she loves and still have help available 24 hours a day, every day, with just the push of a button. To get your free information package, call 800-566-6208 and be sure to ask how you can get free activation. Call 800-566-6208 today. That's 800-566-6208 and ask for free activation.
Welcome back to the Al Franken Show, our last show. So this is it. I've decided to move on to another challenge. Those of you who listen to the show know this is where I grew up, in Minnesota. It's where I've always come when I've come home. It's where my parents lived the last 40 years in my dad's case, and the last 50 in my mom's, the last years of their lives. I wish they were here, but Dad would be 98 and Mom 88, so they're not. Minnesota is where I've been active politically, coming back to campaign time and time again for Paul Wellstone. I've told this story a couple times about Paul. About 6 weeks before he and Sheila and Marcia and Tom and Will and Mary died in that plane crash, I did an event for Paul in St. Paul. I flew in from New York and spent the better part of the morning and afternoon with my mom, who was at a nursing home, Jones Harrison, where they took just great care of her. And Mom she had some form of dementia, my mom. And some days she was better than others, and this was a particularly bad day, and I couldn't talk to my mom. I couldn't have a conversation. Well, then I drove out to St. Paul to the University Club, and I saw Paul. And he was in the political fight of his life at this point. And Paul, in the middle of that, came up to me and said, "How's your mom?" Now, Paul knew my mom and dad. My dad had been in a senior citizens theater troupe for Paul. They, in his first campaign in 1990, they went around the nursing homes and did skits. So Paul asked me, "How's your mom?" And I said, "Oh, gosh, it was tough today. It was tough. I couldn't even talk with her." And Paul said, "You know, touch means so much." So we did the rally, and it was so much fun. And the next day, I went back to Jones Harrison in the morning, and it was a beautiful day. I rolled my mom out in the garden at Jones Harrison and at the nursing home, and it was a gorgeous day, and I sat with her, and we didn't talk. She couldn't talk, and I put my arm around her, and I don't know if it meant anything to Mom, but it meant a whole lot to me. Touch means so much. Not the kind of advice you get from Dick Cheney. Franny and I moved back here a little more than a year ago because we could. As I said, we're empty nesters. I came back to explore the possibility of running for the Senate here in 2008 for Paul's seat. When we moved, I didn't know whether I would really want to do it. But I told myself if the time came and I decided I wanted to, I don't want not to have done the things I would need to do to run. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. But if I decided not to run, I would want everything I did to be of some use. So during the last cycle, I formed the Midwest Values PAC, called Values for a Reason. I think Democrats win on values, and I hate it when Republicans say they own values. I don't think even lately, I don't think we own values, but I don't think they've even been renting them lately. We raised over $1 million and gave to Democrats all over the country, and I did bean feeds and burger bashes and barbecues all over Minnesota, helping our candidates to win the majority in the state of House of Representatives, and to add to our majority in the state Senate, and to turn a congressional seat in southern Minnesota, Tim Walz, Democrat, to help a Democratic U.S. Senator, Amy Klobuchar, get elected. And I discovered I liked it. I liked it because of the energy, because of the patriotism, because of the sense that neighbors working together were achieving great things for their communities. And I liked it because it felt like I was making a difference, like I was doing everything I could to help bring our country back out of the hole we've been in for 6 years and put it back on the right track. To help it be everything I hope it can be and everything I know it can be. But I think I can do more, and so I'm going to run for the United States Senate. Tomorrow I'm going to get started the same way I started on the show. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to go to a clinic here in Minneapolis where they treat only uninsured patients and talk with a handful of volunteer doctors, dentists, nurses, and lab technicians who are doing everything they can at the clinic to help a few of the 47 million people in this country who don't have health insurance. And then I'm going to go all around the state, just like I did last year, not just because it's fun, but because it's important. It's important that we work together on the problems we face together. I know I have an awful lot to learn from people in Minnesota. And fixing this country is going to take a lot of work from all of us. I'm not a professional politician. I know I'm going to make some mistakes, and this is going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm going to work hard. I'm going to enjoy being among my friends, my neighbors, and even the people in Minnesota who might not be my fans. And I will never, ever forget how much of a privilege it is to be able to speak with people about the things that matter to me. I've had that privilege on this show for 3 years, and I look forward to having it on the campaign trail. And if I prove worthy of your support in the Senate. I just want to thank my listeners for extending me this privilege. And before I go, I just want to say keep listening, keep talking, and keep doing. When we band together, we can do amazing things. From sending helmet liners to Marines in Iraq to providing health care for people who have no other way of getting it, to changing the nature of our government and the course of our nation. I hope you keep tabs on what I'm doing, not just because I think it's going to be pretty exciting, but because I'm going to need your help. I've set up a website at www.alfranken.com where you can find out what I'm up to and find ways of staying involved with what I'm doing. And if you ever come to Minnesota, find me. I'll be at a bean feed or a burger bash or an eel pout festival, and I'll be doing the exact thing I've been trying to do here on the show for the last 3 years, learning about how we can make our society work better. Thank you. Now I'm going to go home, make Valentine's Day dinner for my wife, Randi, and apologize to her in advance for the next 21 months.
Good luck, Al.
Thanks.
The problem with computers? I don't have a computer, and email seems to be the only way people communicate anymore, especially my grandkids. Then I found out that I didn't need a computer to receive emails and photos. All I needed was my regular phone line and the new Presto service with the HP printing mailbox. It's so easy. Take it out of the box, plug it into the phone jack, and presto, you're connected. You don't have to do a thing. Emails and photos from family and friends print out automatically. It's so easy you have to see it for yourself. Presto will even send you information, absolutely free. Just call 1-800-441-0277. Now you can receive emails and photos from your friends and family without having an expensive, hard-to-use computer. All you need is your regular phone line, so pick up the phone. Call right now for your free information. The number is 1-800-441-0277. 1-800-441-0277. That's 1-800-441-0277.
This Valentine's Day, show you really care with Bush Administration Sweetheart Candy Hearts. Don't use stale old candy heart sentiments like love you and kiss me. Bush Administration Candy Hearts have cutting-edge love sentiments like these.
Let's search, baby.
Rendition me.
Be my decider.
I want to escalate.
You'll also get personalized Bush Administration love sentiments like these.
I don't want to hug the tar, baby.
I just think it's hogwash.
I will kill you.
Telling someone you love them through mailed Valentine's Day cards, email, or phone calls always runs the risk that your sweet nothings are being read by somebody at the NSA or in the White House. So why not send Valentines that are written by the White House? Bush Administration Candy Hearts. This Valentine's Day, let George Bush tell your loved one to eat it.
Hey, that's a great idea. All right, I apologize. I've been sick and stuff, but I'm back now. And I think something just happened with Al Franken. I'm not sure what, though. Did something happen with Al? Well, good luck to you, Al Franken. Good luck. Good luck, honey. He'll be my Valentine today. How's that? Today was Al Franken's last day as a radio talk show host, and I must say he did a great job for somebody with absolutely no prior experience, which is good news for Minnesota, because he is running to be your senator with absolutely... Okay. It's just too easy. It all writes itself. But we just want to say good luck to Al, and to tell Senator Bob Byrd, that you're going to start to sound really good after Al's floor speeches, because... no one talks slower than Al Franken, not even 90-year-old Senator Bob Byrd from West Virginia. Senator Byrd's going to sound like he went to the Evelyn Wood School of Speed Speaking after Senator Franken finishes his floor speeches. So it's all good news all around. And everybody here at the Randi Rhodes Show will always remember where we were when Al Franken made his big announcement that he was going to run for the senator from Minnesota's seat. We were all sitting right here falling asleep. I'm kidding. Good luck, Al. I really do wish you the very best. But remember, I do know where the dirt is. I know. Having Al in the Senate debating this war can't be a bad thing. It just can't, because he would be replacing Norm Coleman, who just doesn't know what the polling shows yet, doesn't know where he is on the war yet, because the polls have not been received by Coleman. So, when somebody from Gallup calls Norm, then Norm, I'm sure, will take the most popular position that he can at this point. So it can't be a bad thing. It really can't. But first he has to win the primary. All right, then. So I've had the flu or something. I don't know what it is. And then I come back to work on the day of the big nor'easter. That's how smart I am, which is why I'm not running for public office. And if I did run for public office, I'd probably start with something small and manageable like Congress, like the House of Representatives. But okay. So we want to wish him the very best of luck. And then just a little bit of business to get out of the way. I got a ton of calls and emails, and I read my message board when I was sitting at home in my leopard pajamas with the feet upon them in the trapdoor. And I don't know. I don't know about what happened yesterday with Ed Schultz's Bill O'Reilly style meltdown yesterday. Personally, I have no desire to get involved, none whatsoever. Because when somebody's going insane, you just sort of got to stand. It's like when we were voting, and I said to you, if the Republicans are destroying themselves, don't do anything. Just get out of the way. And I will stick to my tried and true axiom. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Beyond that, I wish him well. I hope he gets help soon. So there, now we're all caught up. Now, what was I doing while I was laying in the bed under about 80 blankets with the chills? I was watching this debate in the House of Representatives because, of course, the Senate can't do the debate because Democrats don't have a majority in the Senate. So some people think that that's true, but it's just not true. We have 49 votes, literally. That's what we have, 49 votes. And so the Republicans were able to filibuster a debate. They didn't want to debate the war in Iraq. They didn't even want to talk about it. And why should they? Think about the last 4 years of this war. Republicans have been in control, and they just refused, when they had the majority, to ever debate this war. They refused in all these years, knowing that there were no helmets, knowing that there wasn't sufficient body armor, knowing that mothers had taken up collections to get their sons body armor and helmets, knowing that they were being stop-lossed and redeployed and not getting the rest they needed, not getting the training. Yesterday, listening to this debate, I swear to God, if I didn't have the chills and my hair wasn't already standing up on end, it would have. When I heard how many, we don't have combat-ready troops and they're sending them anyway. And these bastards from the Republican Party are standing there saying, you can't support the troops without supporting the mission. Well, we don't know what the mission is. The troops don't know what the mission is. But we do know that the Republicans refuse to support the troops with the proper training. Okay, today there's an article in the newspaper that says they are giving people with criminal backgrounds waivers to join the military, and that 65% of our new recruits in the last 3 years have now criminal backgrounds that required waivers before they were eligible to join. Now, how do you support the troops when you're sending people with criminal backgrounds to serve with them? That's not exactly support, is it? You're not sending the best, you're not sending the brightest, you're not sending the best trained, the best equipped. No, you're sending people who need waivers because of their criminal backgrounds. And then I read on in the New York Times today, and it says, sorry, it says, I'm not going to be able to get upset, Jake, because I can hardly breathe. But it says 3 in 10 people, and this is an issue for everyone in America. 3 in 10 people ages 17 to 24 are fully qualified to join the Army. What does that say about how we're educating our kids? 3 in 10 are fully qualified to join the Army, 17 to 24-year-olds. That means, and what are the qualifications? Sorry. High school diploma, can pass an aptitude test, fitness level, not barred for medical reasons, not barred for sexual orientation or criminal history. Only 3 in 10 of our 17 to 24-year-olds fit that criteria. These Republicans, these family value legislators have been in the majority for 12 years. When did this happen? Think about it. If someone's 17, their entire educational life, since they're 5 years old, since they started kindergarten, has been at the hands of the Republicans. And they failed to educate our kids so that only 3 in 10, 17 to 24-year-olds are fully qualified to join the Army. And check this out. They're now accepting soldiers, not just with criminal backgrounds, but medical problems. They're taking kids with asthma, high blood pressure, attention deficit disorder, all needing waivers, and they're issuing the waivers for kids with hypertension, for kids with high blood pressure, for kids with mental disorders. How are you supporting the troops in the field when you're sending them people with high blood pressure?